Yes. Welcome back to another stream. It's a weird one. It's something that we spoke about in the previous stream, and it's there's rumors going around. There's rumors about Leroy Sane, Bayern Munich, basically saying that they're willing to sell the guy in the summer. Now, should this be an interest to Manchester City?
Yeah, well, this is certainly the big question mark, because there's a lot of City fans out there who really, really want Leroy Sane to come back, and of course, you'd expect Manchester City to be in the market for a winger this summer. I certainly expect us to be in the market for a winger. If we don't, then something's seriously not right. And Sane, it feels like there's unfinished business, I feel, with Leroy Sane at Manchester City. And could we see a potential move? We believe that the decision for Sane to leave was amicable. City understood why he wanted to go. Pep Guardiola understood why he wanted to go. The fact that he just wanted to go back to Germany and play for the biggest team in Germany. It's thoroughly understandable. The question mark is whether or not Manchester City are interested in Sane, and whether or not they'd launch a move for Leroy Sane. But I'd be buzzing if we could get him back. Can't lie.
Sane was a very, very exciting player. Now, there's question marks over, his attitude when he was at City, and that's probably one of the issues that people will be looking at. If Pep would want him back, if he'd like that, if the club would even want him. It does seem like it's very happy families with both sides. He's been invited back to the Etihad on multiple occasions. He's obviously, I think he spent like 10 days over the Christmas period at City. And the thing is, at the moment, he's smashing it. He's had a good year for Bayern. So that makes it, he could do bits. He could do bits for City. And even if he didn't have a good year at Bayern this year, I'd still be backing him to do bits, because when he was at the Premier League and he was at City, he was so exciting, bro. There was something different about Sane. But another side that leans towards the no, we won't sign Sane, is Pep's recent comments. Pep recently has come out and said that speed and players like Sane and Sterling, basically that mould of a player, the player that we all want, that ain't it.
That ain't the guy.
That ain't it no more.
I know. It's interesting. By the way, there's a poll in the chat, guys, so make sure you have your vote on the poll in the chat. It's quite conclusive right now, but you never know, shit can change. That is a thing that Pep Guardiola did say, and obviously leads us to believe that it's unlikely that we would go for someone like that, just because of the type of profile he is. But we are going to go for a winger. We've been linked with Rafa Leao. We know City like Leao, and he's fast and pacey.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether or not Pep Guardiola's comments there should be taken literal. He said stuff before, and then we've gone and done the complete opposite. So yeah, I think I get what you're saying, but I don't think we should have that as like a completely rule it out. This is where it's come from anyway. People are like, where's this news come from? This has come from the German newspaper Bild, who, in terms of credibility wise, I think they're a bit of a mixed bag. They were absolutely spot on with the Erling Haaland situation.
Yeah, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. That is them.
Yeah, exactly. But they were spot on last season with the Erling Haaland situation. They've said, according to them, their report is that Leroy Sané's poor performances are now leading Bayern Munich to potentially look at being open to sell this guy in the summer should a bid come in, which is they believe is big enough. So they're not going to let him go on the cheap, but they're open to selling him. Now, a contract situation. He's got 2 years left on his contract when we get to this summer. He's currently 27 years old, so still not hit his peak. Stats this season, he's got a goal or an assist pretty much every single match he's played in. He's hitting a goal or an assist per 90 minutes pretty much this season. But if you look at his actual minutes on the pitch, he's very regularly now being subbed on or being subbed off. If you look at like the last like a couple of games, subbed on for 12 minutes, subbed on for 45 minutes at halftime, or subbed off at halftime, subbed off at 77, subbed off at 60, subbed off at 70. He's not a player that Bayern Munich are currently playing for the full 90 minutes because they believe he can do. They're seemingly taking him off, so there could be some credibility in this report.
Yeah. But the thing is, even if Bayern do want to sell him, it doesn't mean that City would want to buy him.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
There's nothing to say that. We're just having the conversation about it because we know a lot of people would like, to sign Sane again.
And we do need a winger.
And we need a winger. Like I say, we have been linked to Leao, things like that. So,
and we need a winger. So, City need a winger. Leroy Sane might be available for sale. The question is how much would they sell him for? Now, like I say, again, they say that they're not going to sell him unless a bid comes in, which is a big enough offer. Now, Manchester City sold Leroy Sane for around 44 million pounds. It was 50 million euros, whatever the translation was there at the time. He's got 2 years left on his contract. What do you reckon on this?
I mean, cash-wise, they're going to want 50 mil. I don't see them. They won't accept less than 50 mil for Leroy Sane.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, could they justify like a 70 or 80? I think that might be a bit hard.
I can't. An 80 million pound, I think is too high there.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, the one thing that kind of helps with the price tag is the fact that they do have Cancelo. Now, Cancelo do be moving weird over there because it's a weird situation where I could honestly, at first, I was like, he ain't ever coming back. And I still kind of have that thing of he won't come back. But then the way he speaks, it kind of like makes me go, is this guy coming back? Like, the way he talks about City and that is like, he's literally just going short term and he's coming back. Like, and he knows that. It's weird. It's a really weird one for Cancelo. But we could swap Cancelo and Sane. That could be on the cards if we wanted to take a bit of cash off it.
Yeah. No, I agree. And if you remember the conversation that we had this morning, we spoke about potentially doing some sort of swap deal for Phillips and Rice. Are City going to be looking now at doing some sort of swap deal for Cancelo and Leroy Sane? I mean, it certainly helps transfers go through, and you're not giving a load of money up front. You know, you are offsetting some of that for a player. But this is seriously. I mean, the thing is, we'll come on to this now. I mean, who else could we get? I mean, Rafa Leao is clearly a name, but there's rumours going around about, does he even want to come to the Premier League? Is he going to sign this new contract? What's going to happen here? I don't even know, So we need to discuss other potential options, but Leroy Sane for me is mad. Oh no, what's happened, bro?
I've got a swap deal, bro. HSK Super Chat to City Extra. Here we go.
I've seen loads of W's in the chat. And I was like, wait, what's happened here? What's happened here?
HSK again with a $200 donation. Bro, what? HSK is mad, you know. HSK is mad. And he says, I refuse to believe that we all see that we need pace on the wings and Pep doesn't. I agree with that. And I hope we are right. LB, are these enough characters for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? At least you're putting in some more characters. I like that.
Yeah, man. Big up for the 200.
Big up HSK, man.
I agree with the comment. I don't believe that, even though Pep Guardiola said this thing about the wingers and the pace, I agree. I don't believe that he actually genuinely believes that. What he might have meant is that it's not as important as some people may think it is.
Yeah, not that it's not important at all, and we will never go for one of them types of players again. More just like it may be just like in certain games, pace isn't. Basically, it's not all about pace. I think that's what he's trying to say.
It is for me though.
But yeah, obviously, not. I mean,
well, I'm
FIFA, innit? FIFA.
I'm just a fan. Pace. I'm not Pep Guardiola. I'm not a manager.
Yes, HSK, mate. That is big. Big up all the W's in the chat and the flames. Chat absolutely love it. What a donation. Yes, HSK. James Gordon with a 5 also says, how much would you consider a reasonable amount for Sane and who would you drop in place for him?
Well, this is literally just a question I asked Jordan then, is what figure would you put on Leroy Sane?
I think it has to be 50 mil. I think that suits.
Yeah, we sold him for 43, right? I call it 43. 2 years left on his deal. He's not set the world alight. So I think the 70s and the 80s maybe a little bit high. So I would say anywhere between 50 and 60.
Yeah.
50 and 60.
Yeah, I agree.
I think anything after 60 million,
I think you get rinsed.
I think you're getting a little bit rinsed just because he's not really done as well there as maybe he would have thought. We did do them a solid, letting him go for 43 million. So, they should repay the favour. If it's City going in for him, there's no one else in for him. I think like 50 million is probably fair.
Yeah, I think 50 million is fair.
Mm-hmm. Who would you drop in place of him? I don't think you drop players. I think it's more of like you have another option. Just whoever's in form. So if Leroy Sane comes in, and obviously the thing is as well, Leroy Sane now has been playing a lot on the right-hand side. So whereas at City, you've very rarely seen him play on the right, probably 2 or 3 times. However, this time, if you come to City, he can play on the right, he can play on the left, and he played through the middle a few times as well for Bayern. So you got that little extra bit. But I don't really think it's like the Mahrez, Grealish, and Foden. None of them really as starters. They're all just sort of rotated, and whoever plays the best plays. Sometimes you're rested for rest reasons or whatever. So yeah, I don't think I'd drop anyone. It's more just a case of whoever's playing well plays.
Yeah, I think drop sounds like they're in the bin, innit? Whereas he'd come in and get rotated a lot, and he'd have to understand that as well, which might be a reason why he wouldn't want to come out to say. Sven with a 5 says, how do we line up with 4 left-footed wingers if he comes? Foden, Mahrez, Colin Sane. I mean, they're not all going to play at the same time. That's what you got to look at. So you line up with like Foden and Grealish, or do you know what I mean? That is one option, but you'd have Foden and Asane is one option, a Grealish and Asane another option. Mahrez and Asane, Mahrez and a Foden, Mahrez and a Grealish. It's just like you have loads of options.
I also think there's a slight chance Cole Palmer will be loaned out next season.
Ooh. Well, with the way that this season's gone, I can see it. This season hasn't been the best for him.
Yeah.
Amar with a 2 says Sane is not good enough. He says maybe if we were to sign him, it'd just have to be as a bench player, basically.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Unless you're going to sign a Kvaratskhelia, whoever you get in as this winger, whether it be Sane, whether it be Rafa Leao, whether it be Mitoma, no one's going to come in and be like, right, I'm starting week in, week out. That's not how we operate as a football club. That's not how Pep Guardiola.
It ain't ever been like that, innit? Well, so it ain't going to be like that now.
No, they're going to come in and they'll rotate. They'll rotate with the wingers. That's what will happen.
Basically, all you need to say to the players, have you ever heard of Pep Roulette? Because that is what you will be victim of. You will be victim of Pep Roulette. You'll score a hat trick and you will get dropped. Just go speak to Riyad Mahrez and he'll tell you all about it, mate. Yeah. Like, Pep Roulette is a thing. These players need to know. If you're signing for City, you do not get guaranteed spots. Consistency doesn't exist over here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Big up Tommy at Border Hill for rejoining the Xtra Club. Thank you very much for the support, Tommy. Appreciate that. Tommy. Harry as well. Harry's back in. Yes. Welcome in, Harry. Good to see Harry and Tommy getting themselves back in. Harry also sends a 6-month member chance and has got a bin. Haaland, bin. But then he just put the laughing face.
I don't understand it.
So
I feel like I've missed a joke.
I feel like I've missed a joke.
I feel like I've missed a joke. Bin Haaland, number 9.
Bin Haaland, bin Fernandinho. I don't get it, innit?
I don't know, innit? Harry, come on.
Harry, mate.
Sort yourself out, then.
What's happening, Brie? Yeah. So, yeah, there we go. That's actually Sane news. Obviously, Rafa Leao, there's still a lot of talk. He's still not signed his contract. He's only got 1 year left on his contract. It's all kind of going off. No one really knows what's happening there. Leao's agent says that he's happy to stay or whatever, but he's still not signed the contract. There was a source that came out and said Rafa Leao wants X amount of money to stay, but then he tweeted directly and said that's fake news. So we know that City like him. A very good source has come out previously and said that City are interested in Rafa Leao, but no one actually knows what's going on.
It's the Rafa Leao one's the weird one where I thought we'd find news about it, and the only news that we've actually got about anyone is midfielders like Rice, Bellingham, things like that. But I thought we'd see a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more of intent from like rumors of intent from City to sign him. Like, the only things we ever really see is it's very minimal. Like with Jude, it's very much like City are pushing to sign Jude Bellingham kind of situation. Leao it doesn't seem to have that kind of smoke at the moment. That flame's burning something different. So I'm not really sure And maybe City aren't sure. Maybe that's why. Maybe City just aren't sure where they want to go with this winger position. But
yeah, I mean that's a good point. It's it's just, at the end of the day, who's out there? You got Kvaratskhelia. Well, that's going to cost you 100 million quid easy, and he might not even want to come. I mean, because he's going to win the league this season.
And also, and have you seen that his agent's twerking for Real Madrid and that?
Yeah, he fancies Real Madrid. You got Rafael Leao, who's like meh. I mean, some people like him, some people don't. Doesn't even want to come. What's going on? Seems a little bit hectic, chaos. Do we really need that at our football club? Don't know. You got Leroy Sane, been here before. You could get him in, settle quickly, happy days, off you go. But I mean, some people might not want him back. Like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know who else is there really. What other names have you got? You got Diaby, but like, will he come in and compete? I know a lot of people like him, Diaby, but is he ready for a team that's ready to compete for 4 trophies? Do you bring someone through the academy? Borges, Mabude, maybe, probably not. There's a lot of different options, and yeah, you're probably right. City just probably sat there now going, what do we actually do here? Who do we target?
It's a proper weird one. Yeah, it's a proper weird one. I mean, and I can people might be like, yeah, but why with the midfielders we seem to not know what we're doing because we're going for a few players. But I think with midfielders we do have a clearer idea of what we want to do.
I agree.
I think this winger position is so difficult. I think it makes it more difficult with the fact that you have like a Jack Grealish in there now who's playing well, but then also Phil Foden can play on that side.
Exactly, and what have I been saying? What I've said for ages. It's always harder to sign a player who's not going to come in and start week in, week out. Because you've got to work out whether they're going to be, able to deal with that bench time. Are they going to be able to come in and make an impact after not playing 3 games? Because that's what sometimes happens. It's always harder to sign a player that's not going to start. Because I can tell you now, right? If you say we didn't have Jack Grealish, right, and Phil Foden was guaranteed to start on the right wing, him and Maris, so we needed a left winger. You just go and drop the cash on Kvaratskhelia, bro. Or maybe Leao. One of them two and say, there you go, get ideally Kvaratskhelia, get him in, boom, happy days. But when you're buying a backup or a squad or a rotational player, or whatever term you want to call it, they're all the same thing. It's a lot difficult. It's a lot more difficult. Because then you start getting emails. You know, you go on FIFA, and you get emails and like, oh, boss, I ain't happy that I'm not playing. You get emails.
Yeah.
And
I mean, to be fair, them emails are dodge on FIFA. you get players going sick at you even though they play week in, week out. So it is a bit weird. I see people in the chat saying Kulusevski, yeah. Now, Kulusevski is currently on loan at Spurs from Juventus. The loan does expire this month, this year, but they've got an obligation to buy if certain things are met. For 30 mil.
It's already met.
There you go then. So they will 100% pay that 30 mil.
Yeah. Well, it's an obligation. They have to pay it.
So there you go then. So Kulusevski is in the bin, unfortunately.
Plus, do we not need someone who can probably play on the left more than the right?
At this point, bro, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
If Mahrez is our right winger, right, and I don't think Mahrez will be sold or whatever in the summer. I think Mahrez will still be in next season.
Well, it'd be Mahrez and Foden, innit, our right wingers.
Yeah, and you got Foden, who for me should be playing right wing more than left wing.
Yeah.
Do we not need someone on the left wing?
Yeah, because the thing is, Jack Grealish holds down that left hand side spot, but there's also no one really in there to challenge Jack Grealish for that spot, other than Phil Foden.
But you want him on the right.
But you want him on the right. So you could do with getting someone in who can play left wing and slam it on the left hand side and compete with Jack Grealish for that position. Yeah. Now, who that is, Leroy Sane, who's been playing right wing. But we know Leroy Sane can play on the left, and we know that obviously other players like Leao are playing on that left hand side as well. So, but again, I just don't know what City are doing with the move. Wingers, the winger position is like one of the weirdest ones of this transfer window coming up, because I just don't know. I can't see where we're going to go with it. I'd love us to go for a Kvaratskhelia, but my brain is just so disconnected from that Kvaratskhelia deal. I'd love it. I've seen videos of the guy, and he looks sick. He looks mint. The guy plays mint, yeah? And he looks like he'd be sick in this side. However, the disconnect is there because I don't think City will deal with Napoli, and he's going to cost an absolute incredible amount of cash.
No, I completely agree.
He'd surely be like the same price as like a Jude. Because Napoli be looking at it going, yo, we want upwards of 100 million at this point.
Yeah.
Because everyone's talking about him.
Yeah. I don't see him going for less than 100 mil. I'd be very surprised if he went for less than 100 mil to anyone. I just think the way he's playing, he's very young. He's got contracted until 2027. I mean, the thing is, I don't think do you remember when we was going for Koulibaly? Mm-hmm. And we didn't get the vibe that Koulibaly was at Arsenal.
Yeah, that Arsenal leaving. Yeah, I have the same vibe. But I have that same vibe with Leao. I don't feel he's actually that arsed about leaving. But the only thing about Leao is he's got that contract situation that he's not sorted. That's what kind of gives me hope on that side.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, it's weird, man. It's proper weird.
Mm-hmm. Let's have a look at some of these super chats then that have come in. We got Mdopa, yes, says, can you imagine Sane and Borges on the wings? City could run our classic tactics with long balls and current tactics with shirt pass FC.
Or a pass to the shirt.
I know. Yeah. No, I mean, I'd love to see Borges in the team, but I don't think that's going to happen. Mabude, stylistically, is he better suited maybe to Manchester City? Possibly. But yeah, I think Borges is a top talent, and I think he'll be sold in the summer. Hopefully, we get a good amount of money. Put it towards.
It's a shame, really. Did you see what he said the other day as well? He came out and said that basically he'd love to make a start for City and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he would.
It's a shame, isn't it? It's a proper shame.
It's a shame.
It's just not.
It's a shame, but Pep Guardiola must have his reasons. Whether that be I don't know whether that be something that he doesn't really rate about Borges
or like
attitude. Could be a system. Could be nothing to do with that. It could be a system formation. He just doesn't fit the formation.
Yeah, maybe just loses the ball too much. Something as simple as that can keep you out of the team.
Or just doesn't fit the team.
Yeah,
his style and the way that we play at the moment, you can kind of understand that. We don't really have the Sterlings, the Jesus, the Sanes. We have the inverted, slower build up, short pass, and pauser FC. So maybe it is, but I'm going to be really gutted if Borges leaves. I'll be gutted because I think he's something special.
Yeah, same. He looks really.
But if he does leave, City hopefully will get a bit of cash out of it. So it is what it is. Big up Chase as well. Says sign Sane and Jude, promote Borges. Phil and Jack could go into the cam roles. Oh, that's a very, very big change, that Chase, isn't it?
That is a big change. That.
Chase has just gone, you know what, fuck this, I want to see a completely different
He's like, I'm sick of this team. There'll be a lot of people like that, though.
I want to full send a completely different team next season. So, big up Chase, man. Thomas says, he's been mediocre since he left. He says he wouldn't go there. So that's Thomas, member chat. Okay, cool. I don't think you're alone. I look at the poll in the chat now that's had over 600 votes. 20% of people in the chat saying, no, don't go back. So
yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is the first season where I'm looking at it going, he's slamming. I think previous this season, I do think he did. Well, I know for a while he did struggle at Bayern anyway.
Yeah. Big up James says, how do I become a member? Wanted to join for a while. Go on, Bray. Tell James how to join.
There's a join button below Lewis's face. If you're on mobile and you don't see that, there's a link in the description. If you go to the description of this video, it'll be right there. So join the Xtra Club. Click that. It'll take you right to the place where you need to be.
Yeah.
There you go. Night bottle spammer link in the. There you go. There's a link for it.
Big up Cronenberg, member for 26 months. Thanks for the support. Cronenberg bro says Rice is overrated, Leao overrated, Mount overrated. All not for me. Give me Sane, Jude, Kovacic, and Davis. I like Ben Davies, Cronenberg, mate. Whether he's at the level of Manchester City, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I think you're a little bit outside there. You know what I mean? Ben Davies, he's all right, man. Maybe he's a backup or something, but probably better than Sergio Gomez, Cronenberg. But I'd be setting my heights a little bit higher, bro.
Yeah, that's funny. But I see people in the chat, by the way. I see you all spamming Kvara, innit? We just spoke about Kvara. Like, people are like, why are you not speaking about Kvaratskhelia? We were literally just speaking about him.
And finally, Dopa with the two says, thoughts on Florian Wirtz from Leverkusen.
Meant to be absolutely sick. Never seen him play.
Yeah, so this guy is a cam, right?
Couldn't tell you.
He can. Apparently he's a can. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this guy. Have I ever seen this guy play? No, he's only 19 years old. What, is he doing bits this year for Leverkusen, is he?
He's meant to be sick.
He's played 500 minutes all season.
Yeah, but he is meant to be mint, bro. Like, legit.
He's had a cruciate ligament rupture this season. You know what's mad, right? Is when I mention Ben Chilwell, everyone just goes to the chat and goes, no, he's had a bad injury, no. And I got people in the chat now telling me to sign a guy who's played 500 minutes this season. He's just had a cruciate ligament rupture.
Yeah, but how many injuries has he had?
He's only 19.
Right? Ben Chilwell's got about 30 million injuries, bro.
Fucking hell, bro. He's 19 and he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy, that.
He's done his ligaments twice, and he's 19 years old. He had a torn lateral collateral ligament back in 2019, and then this year he had a cruciate ligament rupture, hip flexor issues, adductor problems, knee problems, abdominal strain. No thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty mad. He's crap then. Ain't it funny, right? How like it is the Ben Chilwell thing, isn't it? Like basically Ben Chilwell for a lot of people, bro, is shit. Ben Chilwell basically. He's shit just because of his injuries that he's had, but he's still a very good footballer. The guy just unfortunately gets injured quite a bit. Now, if you can fix that and he stays fit, Gundogan had a heavy injury, didn't he? Like before he came to City, and he seemed pretty fixed up after that. I know he got injured against Barca once, which lasted quite a bit, but other than that, he's been pretty chill.
Chill.
I think you just got to catch it right, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people will bin Chilwell. Zion Carl, yes, this for the 5 says, I don't think money's going to be an issue this summer. I've read we're having a massive summer. I read that every year, mate. I read that we've got a £300 million war chest ready to full send every season, and I get gassed. And then somewhere along the line, we lose the keys.
Yeah. However,
this year does seem different.
Yeah, it does. It seems different this year, and it's also needed. It's also needed because at this moment in time, Gundogan's leaving. Bernardo will probably leave. Yeah. Laporte might leave.
Well,
Sergio Gomez will likely leave. You know what I mean? Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4? I think it's 4. You're gonna have to replace them players. So you're going to need 2 midfielders. You need a winger anyway, because you should have signed one last summer and you didn't. That's 3. You need a left back and you need a centre back.
Yeah.
And the problem is, your centre back is going to have to be top quality because he's replacing Laporte. Your left back's going to have to be top quality because we don't have a left back. 2 midfielders are going to have to be quality because you're replacing Bernardo Silva and Ilkay Gundogan.
Yeah.
And then your winger, funny enough, your winger is the one where you can probably go, we don't need like
a top Donny,
yeah. You don't need someone like that. You just need someone who can come in and help out and rotate. Everywhere else, you kind of need starting quality.
So basically, let's just sign Wilfried Zaha, innit? For free. Is he on a free this summer? Yeah, pretty sure he's on a free, isn't he?
Yeah.
Let's go get Wilfried Zaha for free, and we'll spend all our money elsewhere.
Chaser, says Dash. I'd love to Chaser. But you need to see what he's been like since he come back. Who's been watching Italian football in the chat? How's Federico Chaser been getting on? He's been doing all right or what? He come back and scored a mint goal.
Yeah, he did score a sick goal, didn't he?
He's currently played 550 minutes. He's not played a full 90 minutes since he returned. But he's had 3 assists. He's had 3 assists in 4 assists and 1 goal in 500 minutes. It's decent.
James Gordon, yes, he found the join link. Yes, James, mate, massively appreciated, bro. Big up, man. Yeah, I think there are a lot of options that people will want to go for. And
final option, because I've seen a lot of people spamming him, bro. Mitoma. Thoughts?
It's a heavy risk for a heavy price.
What price?
60 mil minimum. Minimum 60 mil for Mitoma. Guys got the hype. Guys got the hype surrounding him, bro. Yeah. And people are like, oh no, but Brighton will know that we don't deal, right? So they won't give him in. They don't give him in. Do you know what I mean? They'll just go, all right then, safe. Look what happened with Cucurella. They held We fought the bottle, and that it's not going to happen. It's a minimum £60 million for Mitoma for a guy who's been here for this is his first season, isn't it? Now that doesn't mean that he can't be good, but there's also the risk of it just being a one season thing. Mm-hmm. He looks good. I ain't gonna lie, he looks good. But
he's a very good player.
Yeah, but I think the cash will be heavy.
Someone in the chat says Bloom, who's the chief exec at Brighton, said 60 mil. I don't know, man.
But also apparently they said 30 million to about Cucurella to City. Then instantly went, nah, you know what, 60 mil, mate.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Prices can easily change. He might have said 60 mil, right? But then by the end of the season, he might have carried on his sick form. And then he goes, you know what? Actually, I think this guy might be worth a bit more than 60 mil, this Donny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the problems that I've got with Mitoma is he's playing week in, week out for Brighton. He wouldn't do that at City.
Yeah, that's it.
So then it becomes a case again of, is he got this good form because he's playing week in, week out? What happens when he comes into City and he's in for an hour, he gets subbed off, he doesn't play the next game, he's in for an hour, he gets subbed on. Does he still play
does he still keep up that consistent form, or is it just like he has to be playing like...
Also, that's a bit of a jump, isn't it? Brighton to Manchester City. Well, we'll need him to come in again in big title clashes, FA Cup, big FA Cup games.
Sometimes it's a sink or swim works, though, doesn't it? Like
it does.
That's the risk that the club have got to take on him.
But for me, I think I'd rather have someone like Leal.
Yeah. So someone that you kind of back a bit. But Mitoma is an exciting player. It would be an exciting signing. And it'd further continue this Brighton, the way that they work. That is the way they work. Mm-hmm. Like if offers come in around that price for Mitoma, they'll sell him, and they'll have no like qualms with selling Mitoma because that's the way they work as a football club, and it works for them. And also, somehow they can lose all these top players, yet they still look so sick. Brighton, It's actually crazy.
Correct.
I rate it. I rate it so much. I think Brighton are mint. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's just annoying when you're the team trying to get players out of that team because they know that they can put price tags on them because there's always a Chelsea around the corner. Mm-hmm. There's always someone who's willing to pay a bit more than what you want to pay. So you ain't going to get no fresh deal out of them.
Mm-hmm. Big up Alex says Nico Williams, Mikel Oyarzabal, what the fuck his name is?
Oyarzabal. We get linked with that guy all the time, you know. Oyarzabal.
Nico Williams met the criteria.
Oh, Denver, Nico Williams.
He met the criteria. I like the look of him. Still raw. Is he what we need? A bit young. A bit young for what we're looking for. We need someone who can maybe a bit more experienced.
Yeah, I'm not sure on Nico. I'm not full sold on Nico Williams. You got me gassed on him, but I'm not sure on it yet. I'm not sure.
I think maybe a little bit too soon. But the problem is, if you don't pick him up now, then you're probably not going to be able to pick him up because someone will come in for him.
And Oyarzabal, isn't he like basically the way that our system works? Like he's not like a fast winger. He's like
I think so. I think he'd be stylistically
he'd fit
well suited to Manchester City.
Yeah. I've seen someone in the chat was spamming James Ward-Prowse or Joe Hunter, and this is his theory here. He says Grealish gets the fouls, James Ward-Prowse scores free kicks. So basically, get yourself a free kick merchant. But to fair, it'd be quite cheap if
you know what I like there. Joe's like, lads, stop overcomplicating it.
He's simplifying football here.
You're overcomplicating it. Just let Jack Grealish win the free kicks and let Ward-Prowse score the free kicks. That's it. But you know what'll happen? You know what'll happen if we do that? Teams will start putting players on the goalposts for the free kicks. Mm-hmm. So,
but
it's just a waste.
On a real though, I reckon he'd probably score quite a lot of free kicks in his Man City side, James Ward-Prowse.
Well, he would until
teams look at it and go, we can't be having him doing that.
Take a good corner.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But he'd still give it Kev. He'd still give it Kev, bro. We have good corner takers now in Foden and Mahrez, bro, and they ain't touching him if Kev's on the pitch.
I agree. Well, there you go then. That's a little bit of a winger debate. Not had a winger debate for quite some time.
Yeah,
So
it's been
hopefully
a
you
while.
enjoyed it. Leroy Sane, apparently Bayern Munich are open to selling Leroy. Should City go back in for a move? It's a very interesting topic. There's a lot of other wingers that we could go for as well. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Big up to everyone that become a new member. Appreciate all the support. Big up to everyone that donated. And HSK for the 200, man.
200, man. HSK moving mad.
And guys, we'll be back tomorrow for another stream. I'll see you then. See you later.
See you in a bit.